Hi there, welcome or welcome back to Oops I Plant Today. My name is Courtney, and in today's video we are going to be repotting and adding support to a few of my plants. Now this is something that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I don't know, life happens. But let's just dive right into it. I'm going to talk about different types of support that you can use for your plants, what I am doing, things that I'm doing differently, why I'm doing them, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna start by telling you what plants I am going to be adding support to. So the first one is the Syngonium rayi. It's been growing insanely, I've never repotted this. I got this from a personal seller, and clearly it needs support. So I think I'm going to repot it and stake it up as well. And I will show you what types of support that I'm using for these 4 plants that I'm going to be adding support to. This one's like really fragile. The next one is going to be my Albo Syngonium. This one, I'm not going to repot it. I'm not going to repot it. I feel like it's really comfortable in this pot. And it's been growing exceptionally well, so I'm just going to add support into this one. Next one is my Jecenia pothos. I've had this for a while. I actually have 3. And the other one is also, I have 2 that are like super long and leggy. They're not leggy, but super long like this. And it's basically been falling over because it just keeps throwing out new leaves. So I'm going to be repotting this and staking this one up. And then the last one is another pothos. I'm doing 2 pothos and 2 Syngoniums, which is fine. Is this Cebu blue. Now this was I think this is 1 or 2 cuttings that I put into this pot a long time ago, and it's honestly outgrown. Obviously it's outgrown this little stake. It's literally curled over. Y'all, this is probably gonna go all the way up this stake that I have. This is how, do you see how long this is? Do you see how long this is? It honestly might go up the entire stake. It's just time. It's been past time to do this, and I'm gonna repot this one as well and put it in a bigger container, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with my Syngonium rayi because I'm hoping that this will be the easiest one to do. I have a pot that is bigger. It just had a soil mix in it, and I just dumped it out because I'm gonna reuse the soil mix because there's nothing wrong with it. And yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. This is gonna be very messy. Actually, let me try not to be as messy. Hold on. Okay, this is much better. Something for me to be able to work on, so I'm not completely dumping everything like I normally do. So I'm actually going to dump the current soil because the soil mix is fine, but I'm gonna dump it into this little container. This thing grows like insanely well. Woo! Look how small this container is. Oh my gosh. So this is a good time for me to do a root check. The roots are crazy. They look so good. This is one of my, this is one of the plants. Oh, this had moss in it. That's probably why it was growing well too. I've actually been adding moss into some of my mixes, and I feel like it's been going so well. That's probably why this one has been growing so well. This is a good mix. Perlite, moss. What else is in here? I think that's it. And obviously garden soil. What a good chunky mix. I'm excited to repot this. So that's honestly probably why this has been growing so well. I love moss. I think moss is so cool, and it helps so much. Woo! Look at those roots. They look fantastic. So I'm going to add in a little bit more of my soil mix. I'm kind of running low, so I'm hoping I have enough to do all of this stuff. But basically all of the soil that I have with the current plants, there's nothing wrong with it at all. So I'm gonna make sure to repurpose it because there's nothing wrong with the soil. I'm just moving everything to a bigger pot. Add a little bit more of my other mix. I feel like I may need a little bit more, maybe. Okay, that should be enough. Nice chunky mix. So we're gonna fill this container up. And I'm also making sure that I'm being conscious of the type of stake that I'm gonna use, and I will show you that in 1 second after I fill this little piece up. I wanna be sure to add a little bit of water while I'm filling it up. I'm not gonna oversaturate it because I'm not trying to get stuff everywhere. But normally I repot either at my little station or outside, so I will dump a lot, but I'm just trying not to get it everywhere. But I wanna make sure the soil is moist as we're putting it in a new container and making it a new little home. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's good, just a little bit. Okay, so my dog is behind me. You scared me. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of move the plant to not be directly in the center because I want to make sure that I have room for the stake and for the plant and the stake to grow together. Because if I put it right in the middle, the stake is gonna be in like an awkward place, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm basically gonna move it kind of like towards the front of the container, and then I'm gonna fill the rest. I'm not gonna fill the rest up. I'm gonna fill a little bit more up, and then I'm gonna put the stake in. Okay, so there's the next layer of soil, and now I'm gonna show you the stake that I'm gonna use for this. Is going to be this long pointed one. I think it's about maybe 2 feet. It's about 2 feet, I think. I actually got this from my teacher at school, and he made the edges pointed, the end pointed, so that it'd be easy for me to stake my plants. But this is just like regular wood, but the point is definitely gonna help with inserting it into the plant. And I will show you what all of these looks like at the end in their full beauty and glory. So I'm just slowly putting this in, and I'm being conscious of the roots. I'm not just like stabbing the thing, and I'm making sure that it's in there. Okay. So it is in there, and then I'll show you what I'm using to connect. After we add more soil. Woo, we're doing a great job. So the little, the stuff that I use to attach the plant to the support is something I got off of Amazon. And I think I have it linked below, but if I don't, I will link it below because this is something that I use quite often, and it's basically this garden Velcro tape. It's amazing and it's reusable, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted this, because in the past I've used strings and ties and just things that like once you tie them, they're completely terrible and you can't use them again. This you can use again, and I've had this probably for like 4 or 5 months, and I still have all of this, and I use it to stake pretty much any plant related item that I have, but I need to grab my scissors. I have my scissors, so I'm going to make 1, 2, I think I'm gonna do 3 connection points for this plant. I'm gonna do one that's at the bottom right here, one in the middle, and then one right here, because there's kind of like a big gap at the top, and I just wanna make sure that that has room. And just being conscious of that. And I'm gonna cut maybe like, I honestly have no concept of measurement. Like I should, because I do art. I'm in art school and I'm measuring stuff all the time, but I promise you I don't. I'm gonna say like 2 inches. That should be plenty for each strip, just to make sure there's like room and I'm not suffocating anything. That should be good. Okay. So we have our 3 Velcro ties. So I'm going to actually, yeah, that should be good. I'm gonna wrap one at the very bottom, and you want to make sure you're very careful with this as to not like completely mess up the plant. And if this doesn't fit in the way that I'm wanting it to, I'll just move it to another spot, and I feel like it's not going to fit right there like I want it to. I'm gonna do it, actually may just do two. I may do two because I don't want to mess with that stuff with the plant at that bottom part, just because I don't. So I'm softly wrapping this. I'm not wrapping it tight at all because I don't want to suffocate the actual plant. I just want to give it some support. So we're gonna do another part right here. I just want to be really careful. Okay, so I'm gonna do it right here, right here, and these are not going to be perfect. They do not have to be, as long as my plant has the support that it needs to grow. Okay, there it is. There's the first support, and I will show you a full video of the full length of it. Now I'm going to talk about why I'm using these supports. I'm not doing moss pulls or anything like that. So I have used moss pulls in the past, and I think they're great. I think for me is that they're challenging to maintain because you really need to be conscious of keeping the moss moist. And I am just forgetful and lazy. And I just like, I can never keep up with it. And it just got to be a little bit too overwhelming. I like wooden stakes and supports like this because I think the plant is still going to grow the way that, I mean, it's going to grow however it wants to grow, but grow in a way that it's still going to do well. Like, I don't think one is better than the other. I think a lot of it depends on your preference and also like what you're looking for your plant to grow into. For me, I just want my plants to grow tall. I really don't have that many plants that have grown up stakes besides the Cebu blue, and obviously it works really well because it literally was just a random stick and it overgrew that. But yeah, I think it just depends on your preference and what you like and what you're able to maintain. And this is an easy way for you to help your plant grow big and tall and strong. So I'm gonna water this, I'm gonna put it away and move on to the next plant. Next up, we have the Albo Syngonium. Now this one, I'm going to use this stake, but I'm not sure that it's the best option, and that's okay. We're gonna work it and see how it does. I will say I did see this tip. I'm pretty sure it was on TikTok. If I can find the video, or you know what video I'm talking about. This person said that they had heard of putting paraffin wax to cover the bottom of the stake where you're sticking the stake into the plant to protect it from like moisture and damage and all that stuff, which I thought about it and then I forgot to get, oh, excuse me. I forgot to get that wax, so now we're here and that's okay. Hopefully the next time I repot these, it's because they're so incredibly huge and I will do it next time. So I have this stake and I also have this one. Now I only have two of these at this time, and I'm honestly not sure if this is the better option compared to this, but I'm gonna use this one because this is what I have. I just need to be really conscious of where I'm putting it in and where I'm connecting it, because I'm probably only gonna connect it at one point because of the way that it's growing out. I want it to grow up and big as well. So I'm just gonna find a place where I think right here is be good. And I'm just being careful, sticking it in slowly, slowly until I reach the bottom. Okay, it's in there, it's in there. So I'm just gonna connect it literally right here, and I'm gonna be so gentle because this plant is literally my baby. It's been, this is like one of my first like more uncommon plants that I got a couple of months ago, and it's just been nothing but a dream. So we're gonna connect it with my Velcro tape, and I'm being really gentle, especially because there's a new leaf coming out of where I'm connecting it to. So I don't want to stress the plant in any way because we don't like plants that are stressed. And like, I want it to be secure, not necessarily tight, because that new plant, that new leaf is growing. Boom. So I'm wondering, I wonder if the way this will grow is that it like now it'll shoot out of the top and just like go up, and will the bottom be bushy? I don't know. I'll have to do an update in a few months. But now it's time to water this and move on to the next plant. Now we're moving on to the Cebu blue. This is definitely getting repotted into a bigger pot, and I actually have some cuttings of Cebu blue as well that I'm gonna add to the pot to make it more full. And I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna put this one in a terracotta pot because I just think it'll look so freaking cool, and probably trim these leaves at the bottom. Yeah, so let's just dive right into it. First, I'm going to take off this poor steak job that I did. And honestly, I put it on the steak not that long ago, probably like 3 months ago, and it just exploded. And I'm like, why are you hanging over like that? But no, we're gonna repot this. It's so long, literally so long. Yuck, look at that, yuck. So, not cute, but you know, it is what it is. So, I'm gonna take this. I just watered this too, because I knew I needed to stake it up. I just didn't know when I was gonna do it, and it needed some watering, so we had to water it. It's a good time to do a root check as well. And check, holy crap, these roots. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this a single cutting? Oh my gosh. I didn't know if this was like 2 or 3 cuttings that I put in, because there's some that are just like really short. Yeah, I just watered this. The soil feels really moist, in a good way though. But I'm gonna mix this in with my current mix just to make it a little bit more chunky, but the soil is perfectly fine. Just wanna reuse it. This is a single cutting, y'all. I didn't know if it was like a couple. Oh my gosh, so compact. Those roots are screaming for a bigger pot, and I am more than happy to give it to them. And add in some more cuttings at the bottom to make this baby as full as frickin' possible. Ooh, okay. Y'all have no idea how messy my plant room is. Well, you have if you've seen like my Organize My Plant Room video. That was my first one that I did like 2 months ago. And I'm a little bit better about it now, but you just get dirt everywhere. It just happens, and that's all right. This is a single cutting. Look at the potential of a single cutting. I love Cebu blue. Literally my favorite plant. Oh my gosh, look at these roots. This was a single cutting. This was a single cutting. Oh my gosh. A single cutting. A single cutting. Wow. I literally had to stop and film a TikTok just to show how long this single cutting is. I was just shook. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok at Oops, I Planted Again. So we're gonna put this one in this beautiful terracotta pot. This beautiful terracotta pot. Isn't she a gem? I don't have that much terracotta. I like it. I don't know. I go back and forth with liking terracotta, to be honest with you. I go back and forth. I go back and forth. I feel like a lot of people are like that. But I have a couple of them, and I was like, why don't I just use this one, because it's super cute. And yeah, so I'm going to add some soil, and I just mixed that soil that was already there with another one. I'm not going to add too much moisture to it because I just watered it, but I just want to make sure it sticks for the cutting. Just add a little bit of water. That's it. I feel like I'm a chef in the kitchen. Just a little bit of water. I cannot wait to show you the video of this plant by itself. You're gonna be like, what the heck? How did that even get so long? This is a single cutting. I'm not gonna cut off these bottom leaves because I'm just not. I'm just not gonna cut them off. They're okay. They'll be all right. But I am gonna move this towards more towards the front end because I'm gonna put that stake in, but I'm still gonna put a couple of cuttings around the edges just to make the plant a little bit more full and cute. So I'm gonna add a little bit more soil. I'm not gonna add the cuttings until like after I put the stake in. but before I fully add in the soil, if that makes sense. So it's in there, okay, it's in there. So I am gonna use this long wooden stake. This one is a little bit thicker. I'm hoping that, well, I know it's gonna grow, but I'm hoping that the leaves will get even bigger with this type of support. And I'm gonna connect it at a bunch of points, and eventually it should connect to the wood and, you know, just do its thing. So I want you to be close, but I'm not trying to like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to stab you. Okay. I'm kind of like putting pressure in it just so that I know it's there. And is that gonna be close enough? Yes, it is. I honestly might move this back a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit more soil because I want the stake to stand up. Ew. That should be good. I'm gonna add a little bit of water just to make sure that steak is sticking up. And I'm gonna connect this piece to the stake, and then I'm gonna add in the cuttings around the backside of the plant to make it more full, and hopefully those ones will attach to the pole as well. So I got 3 pieces. I'm gonna start just with 3 to see how many I want to do. But I definitely know I need to get one connected at the bottom. This thing is so long, y'all. This is a single cutting. I just want to emphasize that this is one cutting. Like, that's it, just one. So I'm gonna connect one right here. And I want it close and secure, but not super tight. And I made this long because I wanted to be sure. I'd rather use more than less, and also it's reusable, so I'm not too worried about it. There's a first connection point. Let's connect the rest. Maybe I will move the camera up a little bit so you can see, because this thing is tall, y'all. Y'all, why is this almost already as tall as the pole? I'll repot it again. I'll just change the stake again. I did not think it was this long. This is literally a single cutting. Okay, I think I'm gonna, oh my gosh. I'm gonna connect it here because I think this is the other point where it was kind of bent over because of how it was like growing on the little stick that I had it on before, but this is gonna be much better. And I'm also making sure to use the soft side mostly, if I remember, because sometimes I forget of the Velcro. Ugh, that's not tight enough. That's not tight enough for me. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but just doing what I can. I feel like this part is just a little bit looser than the other one. That's okay. I'm not gonna like mess with it too much. And now we have to go even higher. Y'all, we may have a situation. So basically this single cutting is taller than the piece of wood. Now this wood is probably like 2 feet, I don't know. Actually I have a ruler, let's check. So this is a foot, so it's about 2 feet. And the cutting is already past the tip, and I've already attached it. So, and it already has a new leaf growing. So I'm gonna leave it still. I'm gonna add in some cuttings and I'm just gonna let it grow a little bit more. Maybe I will attach another piece of wood at the top because I didn't think it was gonna be this long. Like, it's long, and I will show you in the full video of it at the end, but I just can't believe how long this is. I'm just gonna leave it for now because I've already done it, and we'll just see what happens. Even though these leaves are not as pretty, I know these ones are gonna die off eventually, just because, you know, it's time for them to go. These are the oldest pieces. But on the back side, I want to add in some more cuttings and then some more soil, and this one will be all good. Okay, and that is looking cute. Cute, 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 cute. I honestly, I'm like, should I put more? No, I'm not gonna put any, you know what, I'm not gonna put any more cuttings in here because I'm gonna have to repot this probably, or like change out the stake anyways, because this is already taller than what I thought it was gonna be. So I'm not gonna put any more in right now. Last but not least is my Jecenia pothos. Yeah, she is just, I feel like she's gonna do so well with the stake. So let's get into it. I'm gonna dump out the soil. No more tiny pot. Like, look at these roots. Do you see these? Oh my goodness. This soil is dry. I let my pothos dry out. I let them tell me when they need water. I think this is an older soil mix. These have been in these Jecenia pothos that I've had them for a while. And yeah, I feel like this one is gonna thrive so well with it. The roots are really hardy and thick, which is always a good thing. And this piece right here, this yellow, I don't know if you can see this yellow piece right here, the only reason that this is yellow is because my grow light fell on this plant and it just snapped that leaf off. And then this is just the remnants of that, but there was a nice little leaf there. And I feel like the Jecenias that I have now are finally getting their variegation back. This one is like slowly getting it, but my other one, the variegation on the newest leaf is so beautiful. And I'm so happy because they were just kind of like chilling for a long time, but now they're doing really well. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this in with the rest of the older, not the older soil, the other soil that I have. And this may not be enough. So I may need to get some more soil from downstairs, but we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna use this pot because we need it to be bigger and to fit the stake in the way that I would like it to fit. So let's go on and fill this. I may honestly put this a little bit deeper. I'm gonna have to go get more soil. I'm gonna have to get more soil. I'm gonna have to make a little bit more of a mix. Hopefully I have some downstairs. If not, I will just go do it. I'm definitely gonna need more soil. There's no way. So let me see, because, oh my God, is this actually 2 plants? Oh my goodness. There's a little baby one. I thought this was 1 plant. There's a little baby in there. Okay, okay. See, the thing is, like, it could go this way, but that's obviously not what I want. So I need to make sure that it's this way, but then I have this thing, which is fine. So I may just, you know, air layer it. But I basically need it to go like this, but I don't want it to strain the plant. I'm gonna need more soil, I think, to do what I need to do. So I'll be right back. We are back. We have our soil mix. So I'm gonna keep going. So basically what I was saying was that I need the soil to be a little bit higher than I normally would have it. Because the way that the plant is growing, like, I could do it this way, but I don't want to. I want it to go up. So I want to make sure that I'm not cutting the plant off at like a really weird angle. Honestly, I might lose this bottom leaf, but that's okay. But do you see what I mean? I need to make sure that this one, I'm not even worried about being covered. I just want to make sure these bottom pieces are being handled appropriately, correctly. So I'm gonna put it in a little bit. I'm gonna try to move the roots so that I kind of can position the stake in the way that I want to position it. Add a little bit more soil on top of these. But the roots are really hardy, which is good for me, in my opinion. So that's what we can do with that right now. And then I'm using the wooden stake. This is the last one that I have. 2 feet pointed at the bottom. And I'm just gonna put it right there. Being really conscious of those roots. Okay, it's at the bottom. Okay, perfect. And kind of let that go. And then I'm gonna add in more soil. This is the one, oh yeah, so this root is gonna be out. Like, I'm not even worried about it. It's gonna be out. There's nothing I can do about it right now. But I'm gonna put this little guy in the back, and hopefully that, dead piece, no biggie, may want to, you know, get up the pole as well. I'm not going to connect it because it's not my main focus. Oh, some dirt fell on me. I'm not going to connect it because it's not my main focus. So whatever happens with this little guy happens. Woo. Okay, now we're just covering up the rest, and I still have to actually connect this to the pole. I think I'm going to do 1 connection point. I may do 2. We'll see in just a second. I need to add some water. I normally don't fill the soil up like this high, but I just feel like it today. I just feel like it, so that's what's gonna happen. So connection points, I think I want to do 2. I think I want to do 1 and then see what that looks like, and if I need to add another one. So, and I also want to be conscious of the roots that are already growing out, not to like bend them or break them or whatever the case. And the roots on the Jecenia pothos compared to my other ones, I feel like are so hardy. Like, they're so thick. They are thick, okay? So these ones I feel like I can be a little bit more tight without like, actually I'm gonna make this even tighter. Not tight, it's more secure, because I just want to be sure I'm doing what I can. Okay. Woo! It's a little bit crooked, but that's all right. So I think I'm gonna do 1 more connection point because the plant's, you know, the plant looks like it can go that high. Oh yeah, for sure another one. And this is the newest leaf right here. So I'm gonna put that over this way. Oh yeah, this will be a good connection point. And then I'm also like trying to connect it to the back part, or like making my wrapping cross over in the back, if that makes sense. Because it's easier to grip to make that secure connection. Cool. We're done. Time to water and show you what all of the plants will be looking like for the next little bit.
Now first up is the beautiful Cebu blue. It's so long and tall already. I just had to show you the complete full length of this plant. I am so excited to see it grow. I know it's gonna do exceptionally well. I just can't get over how this was a single cutting. I said it like a million times in the video, but I just can't believe it. It is absolutely beautiful. And here we have the Jecenia. This one is gonna do really good as well. I have a really good feeling about this pothos staking method for this Jecenia pothos. And then next we have the Albo Syngonium, my fave, and I'm excited to see the growth pattern on this one with this type of support. And then the last one we have is the Syngonium Bray. Beautiful, beautiful little plant. Can't wait to see it grow. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I cannot wait to see you for the next one.